Okay, this is the second part to the Seafoam video. It's been about 125 miles since I seafoamed the engine. Now it's time for the oil change. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my 20-year-old car for an oil change. Don't forget to block the back. Okay, it's been about 2 hours since the commute home. The engine's warmer than I want it to be, but it's still cool enough to touch. So I'll just have to be careful with the oil. Make sure I keep my hands clear because the oil's going to be warm. First thing you do is get underneath it and open up the drain plug and drop the oil into our recycle bin. Underneath the engine, a couple parts to identify. Right here in the center of the engine is your oil pan, right here, and the oil drain is in the back of it at the lowest point. We're going to undo that to drain the oil. This right here is your oil filter, but of course you knew that. So first thing we're going to do is size up the appropriate bolt for this. I believe it's a 17 millimeter, but I'll double check. It's been a couple months since I've done these. I just put the oil container beneath the oil pan. The socket size for the drain is a 17 millimeter, so we got that ready to go. Okay, so if you don't have a pair of mechanics gloves, spend a couple bucks, save yourself the trouble of an easily avoidable injury. Okay, these are on. Let's see. There we go. Broke it. There we go. Broke the grip anyway. Now I'll have to take the gloves off. Put the oil pan underneath. If you want, this would be a good time for rubber gloves too. So, I'm going to do a quick spin and let the oil come out. Here we go. Oh, that worked really well. And what I can see is the oil is pretty black, and that's consistent with what it should look like typically on an older engine just after seafoaming. So the seafoam should have got a lot of the debris out of there, a lot of the junk out of there, and that's probably why it's pretty dark oil. Anyway, I'm going to let it drain for quite a long time, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes when it's all done. One advantage of doing it when it's hot is the oil runs quickly. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. All the oil drained out. We're going to grab the oil drain pan and plug, examine that, make sure it's good to go, clean it off from any soot that might be on it, dirt, debris. Looks pretty good. Okay. And it's still barely dripping. We're going to go ahead and seal this back on. Wipe the area clean. Get my wrench. Change directions. And I'm just going to hand snug this. Or there's a torque you should specify too, but we're going to change this in about 4,000 miles. And I'll check it regularly for leaks in the driveway. So just a little snug. Next thing we have to do is remove the oil filter itself. Oil filter wrench on. It's loose, so now we'll just position the catch pan and start to twist it. Okay, I'm just going to let it drip for a little while first, get most of the oil out that way. Okay, keep untwisting it, use both hands so it doesn't drop. Almost there. Almost there. There we go. And again, we'll let that drain for a few minutes. Okay, it's time to put the new oil in, but first we have to lubricate the new oil filter, the gasket on top. So all I did there was stick my finger in the new oil, get some oil on my finger, and rub it around the black rubber gasket on the oil filter. That'll help keep it from sticking at the next oil change. 0W20 Mobile 1, that's what we're going to use on this one. It's an older car, I've got 240,000 miles on it. This helps it keep its life longer, I hope, and it gives me good mileage. Okay, all the old oil has been drained. I'm going to slide over the catch pan. Okay. New filter is ready to go. Just thread that on. Careful not to cross thread it. Try to get you a better picture. Okay. Just thread it on, should spin freely until it gets snug, and then hand tighten it. And I'll probably do a 1/4 turn with the wrench. And that's all you have to do for the oil filter. And now we'll open up the crankcase and add the oil. Okay, we drained the oil, removed the old filter, replaced it. Time to add the oil. Start checking the level. Alright, I've been filling the oil slowly and checking the dipstick every minute or two. Right now it looks like it's between two fill indicators, so we're going to stop there. I'm going to get underneath and snug the oil filter with the oil filter wrench, and then just to get a little more level, I'll put the crankcase oil lid back on and then drop it off the the ramps to get the car a little bit more level to check the fluid, and I'll finish up by adding the whatever oil if I need any more that way. Okay, I'm going to seal it off, get it off the ramps, and check the level again, the fluid level. And that's quick and dirty how to change your oil in a Geo Metro.